Okay. Sorry, y'all. Oh, wait. I need to turn off my notifs. Too loud. Let me... Sorry, y'all. I'm a bit late. What time is it? 13 minutes late. How dare I? What the fuck, Tama? Okay, give me a sec. Sorry. Yosha. Let's get started. Why? I'm all the way here. Let me move. Can I? Hello. My name. This is gonna be so scuffed, chat. My bad, y'all. Okay. Hello. My name is Tamashi, and all I gotta say is TamaTalks. Yes, that is my catchphrase. Do not ask. I am a grumpy Latina VTuber who lives in Japan, who's both a political commentator and a variety streamer. I try to stream, well, from now on 4 times a week. 2 of those days is political commentary, and the other 2 is having fun. So, let me read chat here. Let's see. Hello, Bleeder. Thank you for being first. And hello, Relu. Thank you for the lurk. Red Panda. I keep saying red. Rad Panda. Thank you for the second. You good? How are you doing today? Well, my migraines are getting better. Oh, thank you. Thank you for checking in, Kaisen. Gracias. You look pretty cool up there. Bleach. Not many people have read Reach? What the fuck? Bleach. And Chimeri. Oh my god, hello! Thank you for being third! Gracias. So, today, chat... Hello! Oh my god, chat, this person is... I'm gonna shout them out. You guys should definitely commission... Actually, Chimeri, I think is... Wait. I think one of my friends actually, commissioned you recently. I can't say who, I think, because I don't know if they want me to say it, but I definitely recommended you to them. But this person is the one that made some of my new emotes and alerts. Let me shout them out. Chimeri Swan. It's not Swan. I think you were... I think it's Chan, right? You should oh my god, I'm blocking you! My stupid ass logo! I'm sorry! Wait, no! Ah! There you go! Go follow them, chat! And also commission from them! I'm sure they have the info on their Twitch page. And also, you can look at my artist credit page. If you go on my About page and click on the credits, you will be directed to my card where I credit every artist that I've commissioned from. But yeah, I'm excited that you're here. Thank you very much for coming. Let's see. I came for the TamaTalk. Thank you. OMG, that's embarrassing. Thank you for recommending me. Oh, wow. Hiya, I hope everything is doing well despite living in historic times. Hello, Wizard. Hello. No, yeah, things are getting bad. Short recap. In my last TamaTalks, I was talking about, obviously the Iran war and how the Strait of Hormuz is very important. And eventually it led me to talk about a recent tragedy in the VTubing community, where a well-known VTuber, well, I'm not sure if she's well-known, I don't know her, but that's partly because I'm like very selective of who I watch. But a well-known VTuber, her family in Lebanon was massacred by the US and Israel. and it prompted me to talk about it. And actually, it made me very angry because at this point, I've been using my platform terribly in a way because I'm not doing a good job of promoting myself more. But I've been doing my best to talk about this, to tell people, hey, if you don't talk about this, you're going to be forced, okay, to care about this situation. And it's not only, you know, it does affect VTubers because I've seen VTuber fans die throughout all of this who are Palestinians. But no one cared, no one cared. And now it took a VTuber's family to be bombed in Lebanon for people to actually, like, talk about it. And what angers me is that I wish it hadn't taken someone's family dying, someone famous in the VTubing community, for people to speak out. And so today I feel like this is a TamaTalks that isn't 100% based on facts. This is mostly me speaking on my opinion about the VTubing community. So I just want to do like a little trigger warning and also an advisory. I don't condone any harassment. Okay, let me make that clear. I don't condone any harassment. But if I see something evil or fucking stupid, I'ma call it for what it is. Okay? And right now, I don't like the culture that we have in VTubing where it's like, don't speak on politics. If you do, you're evil. How dare you? But when it comes to, you know, assholes, people who are like fuckers, like obviously racist and shit, well, they're entitled to their opinion. Right? Are we right here, chat? How come they're entitled to their opinion, but when I say, hey, maybe you shouldn't buy that one drink, that one food, you shouldn't eat McDonald's, shit like that, how come I'm the one that's the bad guy? So I just want to kind of go through a doc that I wrote about 2 years ago, I believe, during the intense boom of harassment within the VTubing community, especially when it came to like anti-woke people. And I mean, my opinions have changed. The reason why I don't really talk about VTuber quote-unquote drama is because I've always wanted to join a VTuber corporation. But I think today, me finally speaking out on this, on my platform like this, specifically when it comes to VTubing, and me showing like VTuber spaces and shit, because I've been a fan of VTuber since 2020, before like it even came to the US market. And I'm super like, I follow the Japanese unspoken rules, like don't talk about anything, blah 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 blah, ignore blah 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 blah. But I got to the point where the only people who can share their opinions and talk about shit is the racist bigots. Hello? And so by me talking about this today, I think I will like just ruin my chances of like joining a corporation, a specific corporation that I really admired, not so much anymore. But I feel like now that someone's family died, like I can't really just shut up about this whole thing, right? I actually want to share my opinions. So, oh my god, there's a lot of chats. Give me a sec. I'm so sorry. You speak about things that are important to me too, so I'm very excited to actually be here. Oh my god, really? Thank you! You told me to call you... Chotomate. I want to call you Chimeri, but I know you... Wani, right? Yeah, there you go. You can call me Wani. So I'm gonna call you Wani, okay? I'll try to remember that. Exactly. It took a big VTuber spam for people to start talking about it in the VTubing sphere. It shouldn't have happened, but also really does signal how withdrawn people are from the world. You're right, Wani. And Wizard says, I've been thinking a lot about political apathy, how hegemony and the idea that supporting liberation is political. It's really unfortunate that there is this cultural inertia against speaking out against war crimes. Yes, yes, and of course it's not only a VTuber thing. It's like a worldwide thing. You know, the stigma is like, oh my god, like, don't go to your Thanksgiving dinner and talk about politics because you'll just ruin the family night, right? Like, even within the family sphere, people expect you not to share your political opinions. But your uncle saying racist shit and committing, like, hate crimes against people, that's fine. It's like, oh, your uncle is just misunderstood. Like, hello? That reflects in society. Wizard says, but at least the asshats who don't care, hopefully don't care enough to oppose political change revolution. Hopefully, Jesus Christ. Rad Panda says, honestly, the most I saw the community do when she lost her family was give her hugs and thoughts. I didn't see a lot of fans rightfully point the finger at the US and Israel. You know what? Rad, you're so right. That's actually true. One thing that, and the thing is, when I saw that, like her tragedy, a lot of it, and I'm sorry, I don't want to be insensitive and stuff, but the reason why I didn't like quote retweet her clips and stuff of her crying or just like gave my opinion, stuff like that, is because I felt like that was insensitive. It felt like someone who's like very politically open, right? At that moment, I felt like it wouldn't be appropriate for me to share my political values when everyone knows what my political values are for the sake of clout. Like, at some point, it felt like whoever was talking about the situation was focused on her, on the lashback she was getting for crying or her voice and stuff, which, like, obviously that's bad and stuff. But people weren't focusing on the main issue, which was the US is committing another genocide alongside with Israel. And we need to fucking talk about it already, or else more families are gonna die. She's not the only VTuber with family over there. And I think last week Nola told me as well, someone who interacts in this community, that his family's over there as well. It affects everyone. But people were more focused on like the drama part. Like, hello? It's just, it gives me a bad taste in my mouth. I feel like if you truly care, you need to start donating, you need to start boycotting, and you need to start speaking out against your fucking government. And people who try to bully people like me or not give people like me a platform who actually does speak on these issues. Like, if you don't know what's going on or don't care and stuff, at least redirect someone to another person who actually fucking cares. The one thing good thing that did come out of that is that I believe one of her clippers did a charity fundraiser for Doctors Without Borders, and I think they ended up fundraising over $5,000, and that, I love that. That was awesome. That was awesome. But this community just needs to fucking speak out on it. OMG, wait, we are so similar. Really? Wizard Bread Book. Building a VTuber corporation of like-minded creators, or co-op. Did I read that right? Co-op of like-minded creators would seem to be the most effective to avoid the weird freaks who view having morality as a professional liability. The thing is, Wizard, the thing about VTubing is that this is not only a right-wing issue. Even VTubers who are progressive or who are quote-unquote woke usually are only woke when it's acceptable to be woke. That's the issue. But when it's not acceptable to be woke, you're definitely gonna shit on that person for letting you know, trying to educate you on something to you know, to help your community. But you will find offense to that and cry, okay, no politics in my stream, how fucking dare you? You know how long I've been talking about ICE? And no one cared. No one cared about ICE until a white lady died. And then until a white dude died. Now everyone cared about ICE. And it was very performative. A bunch of these VTubers suddenly cared about ICE. And started using it as a talking point to shit on the Trump supporters. But again, ignoring the issue at hand. Are they out there, you know, describing the real issues, what led to this situation, like what you can do to help? No. And so at some point, it got to the point where someone was like solely blaming right-wingers. I forgot what the fuck her VTuber name, something bread, I don't know who the fuck. And she got offended at the fact that I said that the issue also relies on people who only use only speak out and pretend to be progressive. Like, there is right-wing grifters, but people have to realize that there's also left-wing grifters who only speak out on issues when it's popular to do so. And they called me fucking stupid and blocked me. And I'm like, that is the essence of VTubing. Okay? You cannot criticize anyone, not only right-wingers, but even the people who pretend to care about social issues. Why? Because it ruins their image. Everything is about image, everything's about clout, everything's about getting those likes. But nothing is about humanity and caring about fucking people. And that's what pisses me the fuck off. You know? Like, people are fucking dying and you're out here trying to make a hit tweet. What is going on? Like, you guys are just as bad as right-wingers. Rad Panda says, oh, sorry, I punched my mic. When I saw your post on Twitter and saw this is what you were going to talk about today, I was really interested to see what your opinion is. Oh, thank you so much. That's surprising. I barely posted that like an hour ago. Gracias, gracias. Thank you for being interested in actually coming here. I didn't want to quote or retweet because it's quite insensitive to, yeah. Exactly. It's so cloudy, says Wani. To be honest, I think if you make a separate tweet without quote, it's fine. That's what I did. I just insinuated what happened, but it just felt, you know, I didn't want to clout chase, which is what a lot of people do. Oh my god! Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. Thank you, Shark, for the... I can't see. My bad. Everything is very scuffed here. Sorry I'm late. I was watching videos about bees. Bro, I saw this lady be attacked by bees recently and they had to like spray her with something. It was terrible. Also, hi, Shark. Wizard says the commodification of attention has really damaged the internet's ability to discuss politics and tragedy. Rad Panda says, like, her family is one who's died. Like, the issue's beyond just her family, which I guess is insensitive to say, but it's true. But what I guess, yeah, I do think it's insensitive. But you're right, like, it's true. Before her, I mean, Rad Panda, I don't know if any of y'all saw this tweet. I think you guys are normal and not on Twitter as much as I am, okay? And that's a good thing. Stay out of Twitter. But the thing is like, I've seen a Palestinian's last words to their Oshi, to their favorite VTuber. I've seen merch of Palestinians who like love BTS and had BTS merch. Like this, a bunch of fans from many fandoms have already died. And for me, that's scary. And the fact that people just don't value lives in the Middle East, Muslims, Arabs, you know, in the Middle East, those lives weren't important. And for me, I found it, as a fan of VTubers, okay, I found it unacceptable that my Oshis ignoring this issue, or at least not respecting it, okay? At least not respecting it and not having like common decency to at least, if they want to fucking pig out on McDonald's, fine, whatever. But come on, don't flaunt it. At this point, flaunting it on social media is pretty insensitive, okay? Everyone knows. Everyone knows. You can't hide from this shit. Not no more. And for me, that's scary. It's like, okay, so from, as you can tell, I used to be, well, still am. I mean, I don't watch YouTubers and not YouTubers, VTubers anymore because I became one. And somehow I think that made me more normal. Ironically, I think that made me more normal, like just not watching my favorite VTubers as much anymore. But, what's it called? Nandake, what was I saying? Are? Nani? Nani yotteta? Are? Nani? What was I saying? What the fuck, chat? Sorry, I'm suffering from dementia right now. Let me read chat. Let me read chat. The problem is she also isn't speaking out explicitly about it either, right? I think she has every right to, but I guess it'll affect her fan base and viewership. More like, I think that's fair. I think that's fair if her family hadn't died. But now that her family died, I just think that it's more of a personal issue that brings a lot of trauma, possibly PTSD. I think the reason people like her, you know, people who are actually affected by this don't speak out is precisely because of the VTubing's toxic community. I think she is a victim. She is forced to not speak about it until her fucking family dies. And it's because VTubing just normalized that. Like, we normalized that shit. So I see her more as a victim of this toxic VTubing community where, you know, politics is a sin. You cannot speak about human rights because that is toxic politics and you're ruining the vibes, right? But a fucking drama tuber can mock someone who is pro-Palestine and they're entitled to their fucking opinions. Yeah, first I watched Kizuna Ai when she came out. I'm mainly influenced by the JP sphere rather than the Western side. Yeah, my Oshis are mostly Japanese. Speaking of Doctors Without Borders, I saw Oda had Tony Chopper collab to promote Doctors Without Borders. Oh really? That's crazy. I wonder if they said why. Wani says, being selective on what you choose to be woke on is definitely a privilege. Yes, yes. Shark says, they're just doing it for the money. It's true. Virtue signaling, says Wani. Wizard says, I agree that the average person and streamers especially isn't good on politics. But I think a VTuber group explicitly created and organized around a political agenda, even if it isn't the main content, is the only way to combat the apathy. That's what I was thinking about as well. And I'll get into that in a bit. Remind me, Wizard, remind me of that of what you just said in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna try to read the entirety of chat because I will take years to respond. Grifters on both sides are so icky, I block both for real. Red Panda says there's a difference between libs and leftists. Libs are thank you. Libs like that are performative. True. True. Wani says true, and also the spectrum depends on which country. American leftists are different from Europeans. Wizard says, as much as I'd love to join the lib hate, there are card-carrying socialists that are as annoying as libs, but not as bad as right-wingers. That's true. Everyone is annoying in their own fucking way. I'm not gonna lie. Even me. Even me, chat. Even me. Again, Shark, thank you for the resubscription. Tier 1 for 3 months? Jesus Christ! Thank you so much. It's just a performance. They go talk shit, get money, leave. It's just a sad circle of money rules. It's true. What the? Why is it lying? You've been subscribed for over 10 months. Thank you, Shark, once again. I'm American, so I guess I'm talking about them. I'm American too, Rat Panda. Panda? Did I say panda? Chad, don't clip that. I said panda. Who the fuck? Who the fuck has ever read panda like that? I did it again. That's insane. Fuck. My condolences joke. No, Wani, give your condolences to me. I am sad about it. Yeah, there's a spectrum and policy diversity there too. Don't worry, I hate it here too. Thank you, Rad. A wizard says, to do even further leftist infighting, I could bring up the icky whiteness of some post-leftist ideologies or even degrowth ideologies that I broadly think have lots of points people should consider. We'll talk about that, but right now, I really want to focus on like VTubing specifically. Wani says, it's people of the global south whose lives tend to matter less than those of the global north. I think it has to do with internalized racism and bigotry as well. Islamophobia was also heightened because of 9/11, and I think it made the lives of those living in West Asia / Middle East seem less valuable. Yes, yes. One thing that I want everyone to do, and I always do this, I even did it to my dad at some point, and he kinda, my dad at some point, well, actually, before October 7th even happened, I started learning about what was happening to Palestine, and when I told my dad about it, he basically did the whole savages. They're savages and Israel is a victim and that's why they need the dome. And I'm like, Dad, they have a dome. Like, why are they whining about a paperclip missile hitting them? Not even a missile, by the way, but whatever. Hitting their impenetrable dome. Like, Israel just bombed a fucking, what was it? A journalist building at that time. And I thought, for me at that time, that was insane. I could not have imagined it during that time. And me and my dad had like a huge ass argument. And I kind of never spoke to him. I did speak to him later on, but I was just very pissed off at him. And after the Israel thing happened and then things kept getting worse, I hadn't talked to my dad in like years. And my mom told me, hey, why aren't you talking to your pa? And I said, listen, if he wants to talk to me, he better have different fucking values when it comes to fucking Palestine. And so Dad was kind of realizing after hearing me out how fucked up things were. And it's so funny because he's like, now he's like, what the fuck? Am I a liberal? And I'm like, no, Dad. No, you're just realizing how the system brainwashed you into hating your own kind. And other brown people. He's like, huh. So me and my dad are kind of like learning as we go. But one of the things that I told Dad is, I told him, and everyone close your eyes. Right now, I'm closing my eyes too. Everyone close your eyes. Now, I want you to imagine a terrorist. What's the first image that pops in your head? And maybe you guys are too woke. I don't believe y'all, but maybe you guys are too woke. But when it came to me and Dad, we both imagined Osama bin Laden, you know? That's who we thought. And so kind of as Americans specifically, we were just programmed to think that people from that, you know, obviously he was a bad guy, but he represented the entirety of the Middle East. And that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's just racism. And if you look through post 9/11 media, a bunch of like racist rhetoric against Muslims and people from the Middle East was shown throughout like a bunch of shows and culture and yada yada. So right now you're seeing people slowly realizing and trying to like get out of it, but it's like a natural habit. We've just been programmed to hate people from the Middle East, especially if you're an American. 9/11 fucked American culture and political ideology so bad. It's true. Yeah, the system is what made her successful in a way too, so it's hard to go against it. The people who talk about politics ruining the vibes always have the most rancid vibes. True. And are the same ones to slip in the right-leaning politics into things. Banda. Shark says Banda. Who's this guy? Banda? Banda means band. Hopefully well-timed reminder to talk about VTuber group organized around a liberatory political agenda. True. Project Kaisen says, so he opened up to it. Yeah. It took a while, but I'm telling you, I related, and obviously I will never understand what people from the Middle East go through or what average Palestinian went through. But as a Mexican, I've seen how much my father has suffered. And since I've been speaking on ICE so much, like I know the pain of witnessing people being taken away from their families and never seeing them again. Never being able to see your home again. Being treated as an outcast. Not getting medical aid because of who you are and what you look like. And I'm like, Dad, the reason why I'm pro-Palestinian is because they remind me of me and you. But it's worse for them. Now, how the fuck do I want better rights for myself while someone else who has it worse is suffering? Does it mean that I deserve it more than them? No. If I truly want equal rights for me and my people, I better be fucking fighting for those who have it worse. Because if they don't get freedom, I don't get freedom. So, fucking hell. And after Dad saw, like, obviously all the gore, children being shot at, fathers mourning their children. Of course he's gonna change his mind. If he hadn't, then he's definitely a sociopath. And I know there's people that are sociopaths or psychopaths. So, I understand. Can't close my eyes, I'm at work. Okay, Bleeder, don't close your eyes. At least he got it at some point, yeah. And that's what I'm saying, like, at some point, like, you even gotta talk to people. You gotta talk to people even if they have the opposing opinion as you. And if they're being a piece of shit, then yeah, of course, argue and yell at them. But no one tries to fucking talk. A lot of people just do things through hearsay, get their own opinion through hearsay. They hear that the rich Israel that has like a bunch of representation is the victim. Of course they're gonna believe that if that's the only thing they hear. And of course, they're gonna be opposed to anything different. But you gotta talk to people, okay? That's how humans work, and people are able to change their minds. That's why I also don't like these, like, fake-ass political justice warriors, right? Who think that harassment is the way to go, like instant harassment. That's how we change minds here, people. No. If you're informing someone of something that they are doing that could be like harmful, be respectful about it. Okay? Don't be a fucker, you know, don't harass someone. And many people do that, but many don't. Many just go through the fucking hashtag canceled. I'm gonna sound like Trump. They canceled me. And ironically end up fitting that what's it called? ¿Cómo se dice? The stereotype, right, of like the woke people. They end up falling into the stereotype of where they're just like screaming, screeching, or whatever. It's like, people need to learn how to have a fucking conversation, okay? Through evidence as well. You gotta just research things as well. You can't just throw shit at people without proof. Which is what I try to do in my TamaTalks streams, right? I talk about something, I share my opinion, and then I show you a valuable source, a news source, an article, a video, something. This TamaTalks is a bit different. I'm just sharing my opinions, actually. So this specific TamaTalks is the most unscientific and unresourceful TamaTalks I've done. But I feel like sharing opinions is something that you need to do sometimes, you know? It's everything that I'm talking about now is the reason why I became a VTuber as well. Because for me, I just got so pissed off and tired of people fucking bitching about politics and how we shouldn't be talking about politics because it's toxic and it ruins the vibes. Well, what about me? What about my family that just died? What about me that just got hate crimed? You're telling me that the moment someone tries to educate you on something, you're gonna treat them like a fucking villain over it? So you think my pain is just something that is annoying, you know? No, I don't want to normalize that anymore. You can do both, and if you don't want to speak on politics, at least respect it. That's my thing. Respect it and direct them to the appropriate outlet that they need. Like, it's ridiculous, chat. At this point, like, Hassan is still one of the main famous political commentators out there who isn't like who actually speaks on Palestine and shit. And I'm sure there's more, but when it comes to streaming, who's doing that for the VTuber community? Unless I'm like uninformed, but like what big VTuber is actually like talking about politics, showing you sources and shit like that? No one. And so, I mean, not that I know, I don't know. Maybe I'm living under a rock. But I hope that I can become like the VTuber version of Hassan. I do yell at chat, but not as much as that guy. Sometimes he's too he goes too hard, I think. Which is why a lot of people hate him. But shit, you know, at this point it's getting ridiculous. And it's because people are too afraid of speaking on politics. Luke Skywalker. Watch. Netanyahu, not gonna lie, I'm woke. not gonna lie. Okay, I get it. Netanyahu, not gonna lie, I'm woke. I'm too big of a fan of the bomb-throwing anarchists that want Americans' labor rights to have a bad view of the tactics typically labeled as terrorism. That's the thing, like, what happened to... Ow! Sorry, I keep punching my fucking mic. I deeply apologize. But, like, what happened to, you know, protesting that mattered? That matters. During the BLM protests, I'm sorry, but I supported what happened throughout all of it. Of course, I don't support crime, right? But I do support retaliation. You know, people were tired. The way George Floyd died was too horrible. And you know what? The system normalized that, including corporations in the United States of America. It made sense to me that a lot of people just said, okay, you know what? You're gonna keep killing us like we're fucking animals? Well, we're going to hit you where it hurts the most. The fucking... their corporations and shit. And even then, nothing came out of it, not gonna lie. Look at where we are now. But nothing came out of it because we didn't continue. We focused too much on getting that fucking cop in jail. That once he got in jail, we didn't ask for more. We didn't ask for more is my issue. People weren't demanding more. They still ended up funding the police even more. Now they're funding ICE even more. Like, it's insane to me. And now we're bombing another, like, Iran, Lebanon again, by the way. It's nothing new. It's been happening for a while. But now they want to do what they did to Palestine to more countries, and we're just like chilling. Americans, right? We're just chilling. I don't know about everybody else, but I know Americans are too chill right now. Like the guy that burned the warehouse. Well, I don't even know what warehouse you guys are talking about. But all I say is that if a corporation is abusing people's rights, the people have the right to defend themselves. They even sneak the racists and why can't I talk? I'm gonna punch myself. Kaisen says, they even sneak the racist and Islamophobic messages into movies all the time. All the time. It's true. Even in manga. Even in manga. Like in JoJo, Abdul was such a cool character. But like, I think, what was that scene when they went to like the Middle East and everyone was there with guns and were looking at him like at all of the guys suspiciously or something like that? I was like, okay guys, chill out. But I think they had Abdul as one of the main characters, so they thought it was like a balancer, I suppose. But still, like it's everywhere. I mean, that is the start of a modern revival, but I was talking about the 1920s. The Chicago IWW, First World War, is that what you mean? Was based on fucking that era. Chicago World War. What? Sorry, I'm having like a seizure. Sloth Rup joined. Oh, left. Okay. Hello, Emil. Rad Panda. We have to believe that people are able to change their minds and be respectful with that growth. Yes, 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 you're right. Shark says, I believe people like don't really want to change. They just want to feel that they are doing something important. For a long time, I was like that, mostly because of shit that happened in Brazil, most of out of fear. And that's totally fair. That's totally fair. But at some point, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna be fucking tired. And there's gonna be a breaking point. And during that time, you will speak out, right? And at this time, I feel like a lot of people way too slowly, man. Way too slowly, but fucking hell, we're tired, guys. And these fuckers want to destroy the world. Like, come on, how many times has the Strait of Hormuz been open, closed, open, closed, open, closed, and now it's closed? Because the US and Israel won't stop fucking bombing people. Like, are you killing me? Well, that too, but are you kidding me? Like, we gotta talk about this shit. Because the reason why we're all tired and suffering is because we're taking it. We're taking it in. We're letting them do it to us. At least talk about it. At least don't, if it's scary and shit, at least don't give money to the corporations that pay to keep you at the position where you are. Nestle, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Domino's. Who else? Disney. If you can do it, then do it. Donate to charity. There's many ways. Of course, prioritize your own safety, but do what you can. Bleeder says, honestly, it's a thing learned not from politics or worldviews, but simply living in a conservative Slavic country where being outside of average borders is taboo. I learned to not judge anybody till I get to know them. Everyone is equally human and their life matters as much as the next person's. Was judged as a kid by most other kids just for listening to my wait. My phone's ringing, I'll be back. Chat, I was like, where's my phone? Where's my fucking phone? And then I started like walking around. I'm like, it seems like the sound is moving. How is my phone moving on its own? It was in my pocket. Did you see my model just like move around? Shit. Fucking hell. Anyway, let me read here. Was judged as a kid by most other kids just for listening to Mao and having long hair. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of people learn the hard way not to judge others, right? For me, I was getting towards like the femcel, incel, bigot pipeline, not gonna lie, because of how much Christianity was shoved down my throat. I basically was raised like as a nun. And I was super conservative in a religious way. Of course, I still believed in people's rights and stuff, but I still had that hint of bigotry in me. Like, oh yeah, I mean, of course you're going to hell, you trans person. Like, I would say shit like that. Until I met a trans person, which was the start of me changing my views and realizing, oh my god, what the fuck have I been saying my entire life? I just dehumanized this person who treated me more with respect than anyone I've ever had or met. What the fuck? My mind has changed, you know, but I was getting there. And it's because people just don't touch grass. People just, again, do hearsay and immediately judge without knowing, without trying to understand. And I want to give that opportunity to people who watch TamaTalks or interact with TamaTalks, you know? I mean, that's the goal, at least. Hassan definitely pops off a lot. Yeah. Also, Americans suck at protesting. Should look up to us in Europe. Yeah, I mean, Americans do suck at protesting, but the ones that don't have been beaten or kidnapped and thrown to jail. And I just think that Americans are just too pussy right now, honestly. Yeah, oh my god, the dildo nonsense, guys. So these libs went to a ICE facility filled with like people who have had their rights taken away, are treated like animals, and these ICE facilities without food, water, or anyone to represent them. And as a way to protest, these fucking liberals started throwing dildos in the fucking detention camp for ICE victims, instead of, like, you know, getting them out of the facilities or giving them food or giving them lawyers, I don't know, bailing them out, stuff like that. Americans do suck at protesting, or they go outside and start dancing and doing little parade shit. I'm like, bro, get the people out of fucking torture jail. What are you doing? Oh my god. I'll have to check that. No, oh, it pissed me the fuck off. Pleader is terrible. I can't even show it because you know, it goes against TOS. I get that there are valid criticisms against Hassan from the left, plenty of which I agree with, but Hassan haters pretending he isn't hot is funny. It's funny to me. Yeah, I think they are low-key attracted to him. It's kind of weird how they always focus on his armpits and shit. Americans too wealthy to care about the rest of the world. It's true, Emil. It's true. Especially because American wealth is extracted by the parts of the world they ignore. I mean, from the parts of the world. Ah, okay. Shark says, I say it was scary for me because of the video. It would pop out from people getting killed because they voted for someone else. From criminals to sons killing their fathers because they don't have the same vision. And as a 13-year-old boy at the time saying that's not fun. No, I get it. I've had family. I've had a family over there. Well, not over there, but in Latin America, shit over there gets intense. It really does. So for me, you know, I understand people being afraid to speak out or even involving themselves in crime. Not because they want to, but for their own fucking safety, because the system failed them. The system won't protect them. So they're forced into these impossible situations. I understand. No, I get that. Let me drink some ginger ale. But I guess we all get the picture, right? I'm getting a bit off topic here. I've read all of chat. I apologize for being super slow. But yeah, you know, it's just unfair. Who gets to speak on politics and who doesn't. Let me look at my notes here. My bad. So, Jesus Christ, I write a lot. When I write opinions, I write a lot. So, okay. So, again, what prompted me speaking about my opinions on the VTubing community was, again, after the recent news of a VTuber losing her family in Lebanon due to American and Israeli bombs. And I just feel like I need to share my true opinions of VTubing that I've been keeping in my chest for a while. Because, you know, a part of me hoped that I'd be able to join a corporation, especially one of my favorite corporations. But you know what? It doesn't matter no more. I feel like I've moved on from that dream. And I should focus more on me and content that I want to create. And for me, TamaTalks is very important to me. And I feel like a corporation would try to take that away from me and force me to be quiet. Like, let's be for real. And so that's why I decided to finally just like share my opinions on VTubing when it comes to politics. India is better, more freedom. More freedom, but less. I am fucking myself from growing or getting popular simply because I'm speaking on politics. Specifically on politics that involves humanizing a group of people. If I were to be like a right-wing grifter, I'd be so rich right now. Well, not rich, but I'd be so popular by now. But of course, I won't do that. So, when it comes to the VTubing community, I believe that there's two very extreme sides of the VTubing spectrum. And those two sides cause intense harm to the VTubing community. One side is those who do things out of hate, obviously. And two, those who do things out of love, which is an excuse and is no different from hate. But those are two sides of the spectrum. There's like that one side of that they're trying to protect their Oshi and shit like that, and then there's that other side that hates that VTuber and harasses them and all that good stuff. And so I want to share examples of those two sides of the spectrum. So first, I want to look at the instances of people doing things out of love for their favorite VTuber, aka love. Again, huge quotations here, but it's slightly, barely, not even that much different from those who like outrightly just do things out of hate. So let me click on the video here. Boop.
Basically, I got told, I'm not gonna say by
no. Okay, here. Sorry, chat.
Basically.
So, my first example, you're gonna recognize this one. And I've never talked about my Oshis publicly, so I mean, I've obviously hinted at them. Wink, wink, looks to the, what is this, left? To my left. Let me get rid of my logo here, and I'm gonna turn off the music as well. Okay. Window capture. Boop. Sorry, I have a lot of programs up. Boop. There we go. The first victim of negative sides of the VTubing community. Mysterious. That's right. They're dead. Well, not really. They graduated. They're not a VTuber anymore. Well, this specific VTuber anymore. But oh my fucking god. When it came to Mista, there was, I mean, obviously a lot of haters, but there was this one specific fake social justice warrior that is not even, this is a thing that I hate, by the way, is people who pretend that they care about social issues and just use it to harass someone. And that's exactly what this particular person did. Mista is obviously a controversial individual sometimes. I feel like he's just stupid most of the fucking time. Even sometimes I disagree with the dumbass shit he says. Or used to say. But I knew that his heart was in the right place. Well, I thought I knew. Well, I mean, I can't say I know someone, right? I've never met the guy. I've just watched him, okay? I gotta be careful with my words here. Never trust anyone, Chad, not even me. I could be an evil overlord for, you know, you never know, you never know. But basically, a lot of people hated Mista because he wasn't gay enough. Like he was bi-curious, he was interested in men, and people people didn't believe him and were calling him out. It's like, you're just doing it for the LARP. People also said that he was like, he hates women and all that shit, and that he's evil, and blah 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 blah. And it was like one specific person saying all of this shit. And for me, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand people who hate on others who don't satisfy their views on how someone portrays their sexuality. Mista obviously was like figuring it out, but he was pressured to say something, and when he would say something, it wasn't enough. So people would hate him because he wasn't gay enough or bisexual enough, or he was like a fake ally, whatever. I know that it depends on how you were raised and stuff, and I'm sure he was raised in a very possibly, I don't know, conservative environment, at least to a certain extent. I know I was. But fucking hell, the shit he would get. It got to the point where just someone keeps donating super chats to him, either through the super chat option or on Streamlabs. They kept donating, and then bitching. When one day he finally figured it out that it was only one fucking person. So I want you guys to see this specific side of VTubing, that the negative sides of parasocialism, where people do things out of supposed love for the VTubers. Very interesting.
I got told, I'm not going to say by who, but by another liver. If you go onto Streamlabs, you can actually ban the IP address of whoever donates to you. And I was like, damn, I'm going to go ban the IP of this guy. Well, do you know what else you can see? You know what else you can... If you click edit on their Streamlabs donation, you can see their email.
These clips suck.
Now, guess what? Their email
These transitions
is the same for quite a lot of Streamlabs donations.
Soup
with different name. And do you want? I'm gonna go on here now. I'm gonna go on Streamlabs, and I promise you, I can't show everything because, you know, I'm not really allowed to show private information, but I will tell you, I will count how many different names this person has donated with over like the past few pages of this Streamlabs, okay? And by the way, some of these donations are normal donations. Some of them are them liking me. They're like, oh, Mr. Haha, funny. And then other ones are them being like, Mr. You fucking bitch, you always do this and never change. You never change, you fucking hate women, all this dumb shit, right? But it's the same guy. It's like, it's actually the same guy. Like, I'm not kidding. It's the same guy. And the thing is, right, when I pressed ban IP, when you go to tip history now, I will show you. I'm not going to show the actual thing because obviously I'm not leaking information, but I will show you. I'll show you something, okay? Hold up. I'm taking a screenshot. Actually, I accidentally recorded the screen instead. Hold on. Let me take a screenshot. I'll show you what you see. Okay, because now I can fucking see how many times this person has used this. Look. Wait. This appears next to every single donation that they've ever sent, okay, on their IP address. Every donation will have this banned thing next to them, okay? Every single one. And there is so many. It's unbelievable. This guy is crazy. This guy is legitimately crazy. I swear, he has to have some sort of like personality disorder or something. Like, I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just saying he legitimately has to, because he has so many different names and he acts nice in some of them, and in some of them he just calls me like an incel, or like oh, I hate women, or I'm not bisexual, or all those. Guys, you know every single hate super I ever called out, and then the person goes, if you keep calling it out, then more people are going to keep doing it. It's not more people, it's the same guy. And I'm not kidding. It is actually the same guy. The guy who tells me not to call out the bad donations because more people will donate is the same person who is donating the bad fucking thing. I'm not kidding. I legitimately wish I was joking. Anyway, I'm literally gonna count now how many fucking names there are. I'm not gonna count the same name, okay? Because these names, they donate multiple times under this name, and then they change name, okay? Are you ready? All right. Actually, I'm allowed to say the public name that was on a donation, right? They appear on the screen when they donate.
So here's Mista going insane, right? And this is like my favorite En Nichi Sanji VTuber. They graduated, of course. This clip is by Purplish Channel from 2 years ago. But yeah, this person was like deeply insane. And I'm just showing you like both sides of the spectrum, because if I know people are gonna call me out, possibly. I don't even know. Probably not. I don't know. Sometimes I have like dumbass YouTube comments like trying to debate lord me. It's like, oh, but you're not showing the other side. Well, now I'm showing the parasocial side and the Niji Sanji side. And the reason why I'm showing the Niji Sanji side first specifically is because at some point, somehow, Niji Sanji became a Japanese corporation, right? That has English streaming VTubers, and somehow the perception is that only the woke people watch those specific VTubers in the English speaking community. Especially when it comes to like this crazy person trying to force things on Mista and calling him, you know, an incel and shit. Like stuff like this, people who are fans of Niji Sanji will get made fun of because of the woke crowd and how the fangirls are crazy and all that shit. So I'm showing you both sides of the spectrum just to be fair, right? And especially as someone who was a fan of Mista, you know, I couldn't enjoy a fucking stream without this crazy bitch harassing my favorite streamer over dumb shit, right? So I understand that. This is where maybe people will be like, oh, you're forcing politics on someone. I don't think this is forcing politics on anyone. I think this is someone just forcing their, I don't know, their performatism. Again, like, a lot of people love being performative. And when they get attached to someone, they want that person to be perfect, especially when it comes to streamers. And if you're not that perfect person, you're gonna get harassed. And so this is like one side of the spectrum where people supposedly care for social issues. This obviously very fake. The person is obviously mentally unstable. I hope they get therapy. But I want people to also realize that these people should not be the representative of politics. At least those who are harassing people like Mista, right? Like that one VTuber who's pandering to the right. Yeah, there's a shit ton of VTubers like that, Kaisen. That was a different topic, my bad. Who is he? He's my favorite VTuber. An evil overlord that says Tamadis is true. I could be evil. Wizard says the idea that if you aren't practicing bisexual, is that how you say that? Practicing bisexual? You aren't a practicing bisexual. You aren't a real bisexual drives me up the wall. Yeah, exactly. Also, biphobia, great. Not gay enough. Yeah. That kind of biphobia hits monogamous bi people really bad. Yeah. Cuckoo, says Emil. Kaisen says, that's low-key hilarious, but I feel bad for it. No, yeah, I feel bad for Mista. Bro has suffered a lot from the VTubing community, not gonna lie. From people who say they're progressive in the fandom, okay? Not gonna fucking lie. And it's something that pissed me the fuck off. Again, it's performative justice. It's not real justice. It's just very performative. Instead of going out there, like, helping real people, you're out here fucking harassing a dumbass VTuber. I'm sorry, but Mista is a dumbass. Verified. So, Jesus Christ. I definitely didn't just wake up. I just learned about gray sexual. No, yeah, I really... That's why I don't do it no more, but the Gray Strays podcast is the reason why it's called that, because me and Rhea are gray sexuals, kind of. But hello, Ali, thank you for joining. So this is one example. Here's another example of a fan doing things out of love, right? Quote unquote love, chat. So this is literally a cycle, right? So basically, Narissa, I believe she's from Hololive, right? I'm not really a Hololive fan, but I believe she's from Hololive. I love her hair. She mentioned a different male VTuber from the same company she works at, okay? And this prompted a hate from her. This was her response, okay?
The most important thing to say is that what that person said, I said, and why I'm particularly upset, is it misrepresented what I said over a year ago. It is not correct, and now people are seeing that and thinking that what that person said is correct, even though it is not. That is not what I said. And they are taking the words of an auntie and taking them to be true, while also then saying that same auntie is delusional, which he is. Can we just block them?
Yes.
Anyway, I'm just saying, the block button is so amazing. The block button.
I'm kind of weird. I don't block people because I know that makes people come in a weird sense emotionally, maybe not physically, but I know that these debate lords are just hoping I block them sometimes, and I'm just like, nah. Like, that way they can screenshot me and be like, oh my god, I won in the debate. I won it because they blocked me. But honestly, if you're normal and sane, you definitely need to block these people who are bad people, by the way.
It is so amazing. I will continue to mention whoever I want on my stream. I have had my father, my brother on my stream. I have also done a lovely collab with Lotus Juice over on Calliope Mori's channel. I had my lovely voice actor friend Christian Banis on Bird Brain doing some awesome voice acting for me. Let's all...
Thank you for the clap.
Let's all be frank here, okay? Like, just send that guy to the Shadow Realm. Block him. He is not welcome. I do not want him in my community. Anyone who has that perspective, I do not want them here.
So basically, this person, of course, they're like religious, I guess, really went on a rant. They did not like the fact that she was defending herself and whoever she mentions, including males, right? So it says here, so instead of ignoring it, Narissa, in her infinite wisdom, which is negative IQ actually, decides to join the, I don't know who that is, harassment campaign and disavow the people who truly supported her in favor of the, oh my god, psychotic homo beggars? What does that mean? And leeches who don't even watch her content. Truly a genius fucking move, because we all saw how great that worked for someone else. Disappointed to say the least. Have fun alienating.
What the Sigma?
What the Sigma? Exactly. I can't read for some reason. The fans you've built by being an idol for the sake of carrying the homo stars. Okay, so the male VTubers in her company are called hollow stars, but he thinks that being a homosexual is an L, so that's why he's calling them that. Since no one would ever willingly watch their garbage content despite the continuous virtual singling. I mean, I enjoy their content. I don't watch it all the time, but everyone's content is pretty good. I mean, that's why they're more famous than this fucking guy, of course. So again, this is like one side of VTubing. Doing things out of love. He loved her so much, but she's going with the stinky males, so, you know, we must harass her. Same with Mista. He's like not being a good feminist. He's not feminist enough. He's not bisexual enough. So I must go harass them. What the fuck? You know? This guy is anti-Holostar Hololive fans. Yeah, and it's annoying. It's annoying, okay? And you don't think this is like politics, by the way? This is politics. People would argue that like the other chick we were seeing or guy that was harassing Mista was forcing politics down his throat. What about this shit? Isn't this like right-wing politics? Look, there's the crucifixion right there. What the fuck? Bro has an American flag there somewhere as well. So, both sides of the spectrum, okay? This is the same spectrum, though. Doing things out of love, supposedly. Only way of being homosexual is an L is if they are up against a pansexual. What? No, everyone's cool. Everyone has their preferences. The only way you can be an L is like if you support Trump or something. Like if you support someone that hates you, that's the no, I think. But I don't think that has anything to do with your homosexuality. IDK, cis gays get on my nerves sometimes. I get it, but still, it's like there's better things to do, right? Thank you for checking in, Allie. I think harassment is never the way. And if you want change, you should probably, you know, use that energy on something that's actually important. Not feminist enough. Please stop this bullshit. There's no such thing as a perfect ally. There's not such thing as a perfect ally, of course. But I do know that there's a lot of hate towards like LGBTQ plus people, especially trans people and people who are feminists, okay? So be careful. Be definitely careful. I feel like people are more prone to hating on people on that spectrum than like, you know, actual bigots. But yeah, like people who fucking shove that shit down people's throats. Like especially this guy who's fucking bitching about her interacting with males is annoying. It's annoying. It does the opposite of whatever you're trying to vouch for. Now, in this most extreme case of doing things out of love, right? Again, out of love, out of caring for the VTuber or a specific topic, right? Let me see. The Hogwarts incident, okay, where Hogwarts was released as a game for the first time, and people already knew about J.K. Rowling's opinions, or more like bigotry, right? And a lot of people were bothered at content creators who were streaming the fucking game. Rightfully so. I'm one of those fucking people, by the way. I will never play Hogwarts. I don't care if I watch the movies with my father as a child, you know, like it's fond memories, all that bullshit. I don't fucking care, bro. If the author's a bitch who wants to incite hate that will bring harm to a specific group of people, a minority, by the way, I'm gonna do my best to not support them. But at the same time, during the wake of this, I totally understand, like, just playing the game and not knowing the severity of what J.K. Rowling did. And also, I know, like, for example, if I were to put myself in this person's shoes, right? One of my favorite people was Pink, like the musician. I loved her music. I related a lot to her music as a child. It was my safe space. It's something that I would listen to. Bitch is a Zionist. Fucking hell. Fuck me. So I understand, like, having to be conflicted on stuff like that. Like, if I hear a song by Pink, am I a piece of shit? Am I supporting bigotry? Yeah. Kinda, yeah, pretty much. If I'm endorsing it, it's the same thing with McDonald's, right? But am I a piece of shit truly for listening to fucking Pink? Listening to what's a Pink song? Sober! Singing it? I just sung a verse. One word. Am I a piece of shit? Should it be that black and white, chap? Basically, what happened to Silverbell, and I don't agree with her. I don't even know if I like her, but I'm pretty sure we have very different opinions. But I don't agree with how people reacted to her playing Hogwarts, where a lot of people were spamming in her chat and just causing a ruckus and shit. If people refuse to agree with you and listen to you, like, move on and, again, use your efforts on something actually important, right? Like, yeah, of course, inform someone, but be annoying and harass them? Nah. And we're just gonna watch part of this clip.
And it's been really hard, and I try not to talk about this kind of stuff because my stream is not a place for negativity or bad feelings, and I try not to let you guys see this side of me. But I feel like this was the best way to talk to my community directly, because you guys are the people that I care about the most out of everything. I care about you guys, not the random people jumping on a hate mob for clout and attention and wanting to feel special and give themselves a pat on the back for bullying the stupid Harry Potter nerd. And also I'm probably gonna cry a lot, so I'm sorry for that. And it's probably gonna get really bad. So I apologize. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to give in to the bullying from all the terminally online Twitter freaks that don't even watch my streams. I don't know anything about me. And I'm having a hard time just talking to you guys right now. It was hard to even press the button, but I feel like it was necessary because this has blown up a lot, and I don't want people to think that I'm some kind of person that I'm not. As you know, I streamed Hogwarts Legacy last week with my title, making it very obvious I was doing so, and I was in the game category for the game because I was streaming that game. And
Thank you for checking in.
And I made it very clear when I was streaming the game that Harry Potter means a lot to me. And in order to have a comfortable chat, a legible chat, terms were blocked to stop people from inciting hate raids and filling the chat with harassment and negativity like what happened to tons of streamers before me. But apparently people think that I banned the word trans in my chat, which I did not. People just randomly went into my chat trying to find things that Automod held, I guess. And when you get words held by Automod, it specifically tells you that your message is being checked by moderators because Twitch deems it as harassment. And incidentally, the word trans itself falls under the level 2 moderation filter along with gay or other terms, just because they are regularly used to incite harassment. And that level of moderation holds it so your mods can check it first before it's accepted into the chat.
And that's true because at some point a long time ago, Latina was also like withheld at some point in my chat, and I was very confused. I'm like, how the fuck is this considered a possibility of being like a hate word on Twitch? Like, Twitch has very idiotic ways of moderating stuff. But I don't believe in separating the artist from their whatever content they produce. I think that's just cope, honestly, because they made that just so you could provide income to them, right? Just for you to support them. You know, anyone will say anything for you to get them to like them. And even if you don't think you like them, you're still giving them a paycheck. So I do think that people need to be more responsible with the things that they consume, especially when it comes to like music or video games or whatever the fuck, right? But I don't think that it should be entirely black and white where someone is immediately an evil person that deserves all this harassment for you know, not being the perfect supporter of anything, right? But I do think that you need to be fucking responsible. If you play Hogwarts Legacy, you're supporting a transphobic British fuck. That is more than transphobic. It has actually aided in hate crimes, basically. They involve themselves in lawmaking as well, and encourage lawmakers not only in fucking England but fucking in the US as well to spread hate. Okay? So yeah. I'd rather have an accomplice than an ally. I want someone who will lie to a cop for me. What are you talking about, Wizard? She is hardcore Zio, who, J.K. Rowling? No, yeah, of course. I mean, if you're transphobic, you're possibly automatically a Zionist as well. If you ever hear me play it, just know I procured the song Upon the High Seas. I don't know who that's from. But yeah, personally, I do my best to separate music from artists. If the artist is a shit person, but the song is great, I can love the song, but hate the artist. Yeah. I have a different opinion on that. But yeah, like, so I showed you guys 3 examples of doing things out of quote-unquote love, right? Now, let's see other examples. I think I only got 2 here for some fucking reason. I'm sure I had 3, but I probably forgot about it. But when you go to the other spectrum, when it comes to just throwing hate at a specific person, right? In VTubing, it gets to this point, and so this is the Uki Violeta racist hate campaign. So basically, Uki is a LGBTQ streamer, again from Niji Sanji, who is attacked from the bigot crowd, okay? The people who hate the gays, the people who hate anything progressive. Why? Because apparently Uki is racist, y'all. You know against who he's racist? He's racist against the whites. It's a goddamn shame. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So here's this white knight defending the whites against LGBTQ VTuber with sass who likes making white people jokes, as do I. You sure Israel's very supporting toward LGBT, though? If that's true, they wouldn't have killed all of them in Palestine. You can't marry someone of the same sex in Israel. That's also true. They're just very performative. Israel's a huge liar. But Israel uses pinkwashing to justify genocide. So they pretend that they support LGBTQ rights in order to justify them annihilating a whole civilization and colonizing it. Pinkwashing is a term that was created to describe Israel precisely using LGBTQ as a weapon to kill a bunch of Palestinians. And in this case, also Iran and Lebanon. But yeah, let's look at this white knight defending the whites. This is False Eye. Their video called Inflammatory Past Comments by Niji EM VTuber Surface. Niji Sanji attempts to move on, receives backlash. We're just gonna watch like part of this, hopefully. I do not want to watch 24 minutes of this fucking guy, but okay.
One good day. That is today we check in with Uki Violeta, the self-described psychic from Nijisanji English's Noctix Wave, taking to Twitter yesterday to say thank you artists. Know that you are amazing and you should be proud of your work. You are so loved and appreciated. People who spread negativity have already made up their mind, so don't let a few bitches define your worth and your skill.
So during this time, in order to show support to this VTuber named Uki Violeta, a lot of artists were trying to uplift their spirits by making them art and stuff. Coincidentally, while artists shared art of their favorite VTuber, it also prompted others to harass them. Very telling that this so-called, well, they are a drama tuber, but for some reason I think they try to refer themselves as journalists or news reporters, but they're not. They're drama tubers. This drama tuber totally left that part out.
Doing what you love. This clearly being an actual tweet from Uki, as this Nichisanji English Liver does not miss a single day without tweeting out something about bitches. This tweet.
Okay. Hey, I see. Hey, crime number 1. He calls bitches bitches. Okay. Okay.
Receiving initial support until receiving this reply asking, what do you think about straight white men? Remind us of your opinion about straight white men, please, Mr. Positivity and Love Spreader. The reasoning for this question being clear later. As to the surprise of many, Uki would reply saying, they're just as irresponsible and selfish as your response. Once again,
get him, queen. Uki queen. Uki Queen. Uki Queen and chat.
Nichisanji English's Uki Violetta, a corporate agency VTuber labeling straight white men as irresponsible and selfish. This
problem, chat. Problem? Problem? Is a minority making fun of white people a crime? Chat? Do you understand the fucking hypocrisy in all of this? Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus. Forget to leave a dislike on his vid, Tama. Don't forget. Ah, I see. Thank you. There we go.
This particular tweet receiving massive amounts of attention as it is on its way to 1 million views at the time of this recording. And the timing of this remark could not be worse, as today Uki's Wave Noctics are celebrating their 2nd anniversary.
Wow,
with a brand new merch drop. This now turning us over to the Nichisanji subreddit, wherein last night this was the top rated post, taking a screenshot of that interaction and saying, quote, Uki trying to go 5 nanoseconds without raging about white people challenge.
But what is the problem? How is this fucking racist? They're not. These people never talk about true racism, right? Like the ones who actually fucking still cause the suffering of a bunch of black and POC people. Fucking hell, of what's going on today. Is this guy fucking talking about that? No, but he makes a 25 fucking minute video about the discrimination against white people. Yeah, the #1 superpower in this fucking earth. Okay? Like, Trump is president, and now we are at war with Iran. If she is pro-Palestine, I call her queen all day. I'm pretty sure, I assume Uki is. Because I assume, but you never know. When it comes to corporate VTubers, I understand like that their job is on the line and they're basically forced to not speak on politics. But when it comes to Nichisanji, they've been kind of pushing that, and they've been pushing it towards the woke side of things, which is why it prompts people like this fucking drama tuber to make these clickbaity videos crying about white racism, right? To get the bag and to shit on a corporate VTuber, and when they defend themselves, they don't like it, and then they bitch more about it. It's fucking annoying. It's insane to me. It's insane. So they're here bitching about like white racism for 25 minutes. And I think we all know that these fuckers are just incels, right? Incels who don't care about anything other than spreading an agenda. Now, when it comes to the Hogwarts situation as well, another VTuber suffered the backlash of it, but quote unquote suffer on that. Against Japan is well known for like not involving themselves in politics, and we're seeing the consequences of that, of them not learning anything about true history and also not like caring about politics at all. The consequences now, they have like a female Trump, a female Japanese Trump as a prime minister. And as of today, she lifted not the ban, but she basically went against Article 9 in Japan that basically enforces Japan to never involve themselves in trading, like involving themselves in war and exporting weapons of mass destruction to other countries and making a profit for it, you know, instead of defending. Like it kind of went against Article 9 from the get-go, but like those weapons were only meant for Japan to defend themselves. They are not allowed to participate in war, however. And the prime minister just broke that today. Now they're exporting goods to countries that are trying to destroy the entirety of Iran and Lebanon and whoever they consider an enemy in those areas, right? So that is the consequence of that. But this Japanese VTuber that also speaks English, who was raised in Japan, but I believe they're like half, I don't know what their other half is, but they're half Japanese. Pikami from a while back, I don't know if you guys ever met her or remember her, but she was a really famous indie VTuber who unfortunately played Hogwarts, and after playing Hogwarts, she stopped streaming for a while. She came back, and then she graduated, which in VTuber terms means that she stopped streaming as the persona she was streaming as. And a lot of these bigot guys, these same people who cry about white racism, blamed the woke people, the trans people, the social justice warriors, right, for harassing this woman off the internet, only for a few weeks later for her to reveal that she was under a company now and under a new name and is a successful VTuber still to this day. So the whole narrative of her being harassed off the internet because of the trans people is a lie. It got to the point where they just started like fucking harassing a bunch of trans people, making AI art of her, burning the trans flag. It was insane. Like, the levels of bigotry was insane. The reaction didn't really justify the whatever caused the reaction, which in this case was people informing her to not play the game because the game supported a transphobe, which is JK Rowling. Now let me get Narisa off of here. My bad, girl. I don't want you to. There you go. Right? So we saw both sides of the VTuber spectrum, both negative sides, those who harass others for love and harass others just for the sake of it, just because they're bigots. And now we saw the two sides of the same coin here. And I have a question, right? I have a important question. Before I do that, though, let me read the rest of chat. I will be a little weird here and say I'm a minority spreading hate against a not minority. In this case, the whites is not good and should not be okay. And it's a little extremist. We need to hate the persons, not the color. But white people invented racism. That's the thing. So if people have that like internalized suspicion of white people, if they say a joke about a white person like I do it all the fucking time. Especially when your ancestors like ruined everything, ruined your country, by the way. Brazil was ruined by the US. Mexico was ruined by the US. Cuba was ruined by the US. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna fucking bitch talk about y'all, and I'm gonna, and you know why? Because the white people get more privileges. Whites get more privileges, right? And they don't use it for good. They use it to bask in their privilege. They don't use it to help us. So why is it bad for me to fucking talk shit? I'm gonna talk shit. I don't fucking care. If they're gonna bitch about racism, then they should end real racism first. Once everyone's considered equal, then they can bitch about white racism. But let's be for real here, okay? Let's be for real. See their tweets lately, these Japanese... Oh yeah, now on Twitter, the Japanese tweets have been automatically translated, and a bunch of people are realizing how racist Japanese people can be. Like, or what? A lot of people that are not Japanese are realizing how racist Japanese people can be and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's... Yeah. But this guy there, yeah, not just doing whatever. Yeah. Bleeder says, gotta run, gotta work. Cha. Bye, Bleeder. Thank you for joining. Have a nice work. Dan Day Friendo. Work Dan Day Friendo. True. Red Panda says, true. It does give the wrong parties ammunition. Personally, I think white people gotta shit on white people more. That's true. Like, fucking hell. A lot of minorities who shit on white people are just like letting out steam of, you know, when white people get mad, you know what they do? They shoot up a school. When a minority gets mad, they make a white people joke. Or they end up doing a crime, but most of us make white people jokes. That's how we relieve our stress. That's how we reflect on the injustice we feel every day. But it sucks because a white person can shoot up a school and then cry about trans people and white racism. It's like it's not fair. What country isn't ruined by white people? That's what I'm saying. Okay. The concept of race is unscientific. That's a fact. Okay. It's unscientific. But we're forced to live it because it was enforced by white people who colonized most of the world. And still do, by the way. America and Israel are currently colonizing the rest of Palestine, and now they're trying to do it to Iran. America and Israel is basically the representation of like white colonialism. But now the thing about that is it's very confusing nowadays, because now people aren't like fully white anymore. So you see a bunch of races being racist and pro-Trump and all that shit. It's very confusing, but racism is evolving to like it's evolving where like you can't even, you think you're white but you're not and you're racist. So it's intense, it's insane. But you see like how crazy things are. Like earlier, like I was saying when I showed you like the two spectrums of all of this like VTuber hate. I just want to like clarify, of course, again, VTubers do not deserve this type of hate. But let's be for real. By only addressing their own issues. Oh, and I was gonna show you guys a clip of Mousy. I think that was like the one source I didn't put on here, but when it comes to the Hogwarts situation with Silvervale, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Mousy was pissed off, obviously, but she said that everyone was entitled to their own opinion and you shouldn't be harassing people over your opinion, right? And I think that's fair. I think she's right. She's the #1 VTuber, and she was right. But the issue at hand is that a lot of VTubers don't speak on politics unless it's convenient to them, or unless it's affecting them, right, in a way that they don't like. So it's a bit unfair when they use negative interactions that they've had with people that don't represent the community well of whatever topic they're trying to force upon someone. For instance, feminism or trans people, LGBTQ, whatever. It's not fair to use those like minorities that don't respect the topic at hand, where they're trying to shove shit down people's throats abusively, and then generalizing the whole, right? The entirety of politics, specifically woke politics, because it's all about woke, and then be like mocking woke people. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get the woke crowd angry or whatever the fuck, right? But when it comes to like those bitching about white racism, or, you know, making AI art, right, of a VTuber burning the trans flag, how come they don't address those people, right? They don't address those people. They always address the woke crowd. That's what pisses me off. It's like, okay, everyone's entitled to their fucking opinion, by the way. If they want to play Hogwarts, you shouldn't harass them over it. Okay, now what about those who are using the situation to harass trans people? Nothing. Okay, now you're getting too political here. So, by only addressing their own issues and not the severity of other issues they don't see as important, you end up enabling the toxic culture of woke equals bad and bigotry or any controversial action equals everyone is entitled to their own opinions. Someone does something controversial, okay, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. Someone says something woke, okay, you're too political, fuck off. When the matter of the fact is, feigned ignorance is enabling. You don't know something, now you know. You still do it, you're enabling. Simple as that. Simple as that. The hypocrisy is insane, and now it's gotten to it's gotten to the point where it's just like only racist VTubers can speak politically, but someone like me, no, I'm not gonna get big from this shit. I'm hurting myself by talking about shit like this, by being woke. I'm not gonna get big. I'm not gonna get brand deals. Fucking hell, I'm not gonna, now that I've spoken, have pointed the finger at VTubers, I'm not gonna get into a corpo for sure. Like, I fucked myself by being woke. But all the people that I showed you on stream that were being bigots, that are VTubers, which is specifically the drama tuber guy, oh yeah, successful. Like, at some point, we as a VTuber community need to step the fuck up and stop enabling this shit. Rad Panda says, Nick Fuentes is a great example of someone who thinks they are part of the in-group but benefit a lot from the grift that could eventually reach them. Yeah. That I get it. Sorry. And then Shark says, that I get it. I understand why people do it, but then again, that can make the hate loop. I'm sorry, but like it's more than the hate loop. I think the hate loop is if you keep removing the rights of people, they have the right to talk shit about you. It's like the people right now where Israel, like people from Israel get pissed off when you criticize them, and then they start crying anti-Semitism when it's not anti-Semitism. If you're fucking chopping a kid's head off, I need to talk shit about you. And white people are the same way. They're Israeli by culture. I mean, we're supporting Israel. Where do you think they got that culture from? But we've babied white people so much still, despite them abusing us. You know, their issues get put on the same level as like people, as our issues. And by our issues, I mean like people who are minorities, black and brown people, and people who are a different type of minority. And that's the thing, it's like, it ain't equal. Fuentes, is he Latino? Yes, he is Latino. I think he's Mexican, unfortunately. Whitewashed Mexican. Yikes. He's Irish, Italian, and Mexican. Okay, he's just basically white at that point. That's crazy. But that, yeah, I think I thought he was Mexican. I didn't know he was Italian and Irish. But yeah, I mean, whatever, like, what gives money? Being a right-wing grifter or being a left one? Well, being a right one. Wani says, I think a distinction should be made here. When you're talking about white colonialism, you're mainly talking about Western Europe, France, Spain, the British. I don't think it's fair to generalize all white peoples as colonizers. When West Asia / Middle East had its own colonial projects, Egypt, same for Asia, China, colonialism wasn't invented by white people. The thing is that when it comes to colonialism in terms of, and you're right, by the way, when it comes to like China and Egypt and other nations, right? Or powers, I suppose. But I'm generalizing because I'm generalizing in the way of who has done the most damage. And a white person cannot get offended by what their ancestors have done. If it's warranted, it's warranted. If it's just some like random, like for example, if Zaya were here and if I were to hate him for being white, then that would be an issue. But if I'm just shitting on white people for funsies in a way that doesn't really matter, that isn't like, you know, it's just my way of expressing myself as a minority, I feel like I have more right to do that than someone else. I feel like when we generalize in a way where we make things in broader terms, right? Because at some point, China was colonized by Japan. But who do we see more as a threat, China or Japan? Japan is always the poor baby that can't do anything wrong. And now they're exporting weapons to colonial powers. Okay. Egypt, I'm not a fan of Egypt because they're not helping their neighbors, right? Especially Palestine. They just like turn the cheek and enable things by supporting Israel. So, but for example, Spain right now is the #1 in fighting against colonialism. So for me, I'm like W Spain because they're the only ones that have been criticizing Israel, are currently demanding for European nations to not make business with Israel at all. So that's what I'm saying. If people don't want to generalize, you better fucking do something about it then. Instead of like enabling your countries to cause harm to others. So if a specific country has done crimes to someone and isn't doing anything about it, then people are just gonna generalize. Especially me, like I used to make fun of people from Spain all the time because Mexico was colonized by Spain. And so I do have some indigenous family members that unfortunately suffered the consequences of colonization from Spain. But right now, Spain is like the only big European country that is actually fighting against genocide right now. So it depends. Like, if you don't want people talking shit about white people, then you better make sure that white people are actually doing something to not get that bad rep. But yeah, in general, you know, making assumptions about someone ain't good. But me making a general term like, oh, white people suck, if that bothers you, then that's a you issue, buddy. Because I feel like people like me have the right to say that shit. And people who have it worse than me, by the way. I'm pretty privileged compared to other people. Modern colonialism, yes. Western Europe mainly. Maybe majority of VTuber fans are bigots. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They are. They're either bigots or they either feign ignorance. They pretend that they don't know shit. The excuse is that VTubing is made only to entertain the viewer and to make them forget about the horrors of the world. But I feel like if someone wants to speak politically, they should have the right to do so. Because people shat on me for talking, well, still do, for talking politics. And, you know, fucking Centrea blocked me for being woke, and I never even shit talked her. The only reason why she blocked me was because I was saddened that she blocked my friend trying to educate her on the whole Nazi fit shit. And I was on Centrea's side, by the way. I was like, man, like, I get that people are mad that she is using the Nazi fit, but I feel like there's better things to talk about. Because right now, like, Japan normalizes the Nazi fit. Why? Because they worked with the Nazis. Hello? Like, that makes sense. That's why they romanticize history and the Nazi fit. That's why when you watch anime, you fucking see memories of like the time they were in, because they were fighting for Nazis with Nazis. They were allied with the Axis powers. Like, hello. And people delude themselves and pretend like, oh my god, it's just a uniform. No, that's the Nazi fit, bruh. And so I think Centrea like debuted with a new fit, and it was a Nazi fit. And someone like said it casually, I believe, in chat or something. You know, it's always that one person who says something in chat. The VTuber gets pissed off and offended, and then people turn it into a bigger issue than it actually was. And then it got to the point where Centrea started like just blocking everyone who was giving like good faith education on Nazi fits. Like, someone literally gave a historical review where they're like, no, I agree that Centrea like didn't deserve the hate, but actually she's kind of wrong about her opinion on her uniform, and this is the history and this is why. And Centrea blocked them and started blocking anyone who was like good faith towards her. not only the haters, but specifically people who were woke and good faith. And so when they blocked my friend, who's like super woke and well known in the community, I replied to their post being like, to my friend mentioning them being blocked by Centrea. I literally was like, hey man, this is so disappointing. Like, I'm gonna have to unfollow Centrea because I can't believe that she blocked you, my friend, out of everyone here. Like, she blocked you, but she didn't block her Nazi fan base that are making fun of the woke crowd and then calling everyone slurs and shit. Like, she's not blocking those people, she's blocking people like you. So I was really saddened about it because I have Centrea merch right now. That's what pisses me off. So I was like, I'm gonna have to unfollow her, but whatever. I unfollow her, and then someone starts replying to me, and so I'm debating some rando, right? And it got to the point where I was like, listen, I was on Centrea's side, but it's just unfair that she's blocking people who are in good faith trying to educate her. They're not throwing hate, they're not throwing shade, they're not calling her names, they're just trying to educate her so she won't like possibly hurt someone in the future. And her blocking them is basically enabling like bigotry, basically like what I'm saying now. Like, no politics, no criticism, just the repercussions of like people using your name to be racist to others, to be celebrating Nazism in your name. Like, even if you say those aren't your fans, why are you blocking the woke people who are trying to educate you? And then I said, imagine if she blocked me, someone who's for the first time mentioning this on Twitter. I wasn't gonna talk about it at all, but once they saw my friend being blocked, of course I'm gonna be like, man, I'm sad, I'm gonna unfollow. Imagine that. And then after writing that, I decided to check. I decided to check Centrea's account to see, and she blocked me. The bitch blocked me. What the fuck? And I never added her. I never mentioned her. All I said was that I was sad that she took this path of like blocking all the woke people, and that I was gonna have to unfollow. So what ended up happening was basically Centrea was stalking my friend's replies and seeing whoever agreed with my friend was basically a bad woke person and started blocking them. I had huge respect for Centrea because she really, she donates to charity, obviously, number one. That's something I try to do within my own community, is encourage people to donate to charity. But she also like tried to encourage her ex-corporation VShojo to find more smaller streamers and give them the platform that they deserve in order for them to grow. And for me, that was like, yeah, like people like me, I want to grow. I don't want people to diminish my value just because I speak on politics. And I feel like, you know, if someone gave me a chance, my content would be popular. Especially like when it comes to Hassan, like look how popular he is. I know there's a crowd out there who likes politics and VTubers. It's an untapped market. Like, I know that I have potential. And so that's why I respected Centrea. So when she fucking blocked me, I was like, damn, she's fake. It's all about the image rather than, you know, actually trying to enforce real positivity in their community. So that sucked. It really did. Same. I'll never get into corporal at this rate. Bye bye, Nijisanji. True. Rad Panda. I think it is big VTubers like Iron Mice and Iron Mice? What the fuck? Iron Mouse, my bad. And other big independents who are responsible for the status quo. Either they choose to not speak up because they'll fuck up the bag, or they are okay with the status quo. I think it's both. Because, again, it's always selective, right? When it's something that matters to them, they'll speak about it. When it's popular to talk about it, they'll speak about it. For example, one thing that rubbed me the wrong way, and of course, I respect her. Poor girl has been through a lot of shit. You know, she's dealing with enough in her life. But, you know, she interacts with people who've done controversial things, and she still turns around, and I'm talking about Iron Mouse here, and says that people are entitled to their own opinion, no politics, yada yada. But she does speak on politics. Like, she's spoken on discrimination against her and her family. She's spoken about is she from Puerto Rico, I think? Right? She's Puerto Rican. Nah, right? I think she is. And so when Bad Bunny did his Super Bowl thing, you know, she was showing her pride and stuff. But what about the whole ICE situation in the VTubing community? You know, her friends and herself like interact with Cha-Cha, with Fillion, all these people who have like made fun of George Floyd, Cha-Cha making fun of ICE, and people, deported by ICE. Right then and there, quiet. So the Latino community only matters when it's like catered to your problems, but not everyone else's. It's very selective, and it's low-key offensive to me sometimes, because you might as well just not say anything. But I don't trust people who hang out with, someone who's willing to make a George Floyd joke, okay? I don't see that as someone entitled to their own opinion. Or someone willing to make a ICE joke after someone was shot in the face 5 times by ICE, you know? It's very selective. Hello, leftist, my bad. I didn't see you there. How are ya? Oi. Rad Panda says, her saying snowflakes did it for me, because I feel like that's a conservative phrase, which tells me which way she leans. Yeah. Oh, hi, Tayo. How are you? Ayo, Tama and Shindois. Hope you are doing good. Hope you're doing good too, Tayo. Yes, exactly. She went to Congress to talk about healthcare, I believe. Which is good. I mean, of course. She talks about, obviously, the condition that she suffers from, right? That's totally fair, and I appreciate that, right? Everyone should find that important. And of course, Iron Mouse as well does a huge amount for charity, right? Very respectable. Because she suffered a lot, and fucking hell, the American health system fucking abuses people, right? It's terrible. It's terrible. You will die before you receive healthcare. And if you do receive healthcare, if you don't die from whatever disease or sickness you have, you will die from debt. And so, I do find it really respectable that Iron Mouse makes sure to fundraise for charities specifically aimed at the rare disease that she has. Is it a disease? Yes, I think it is a rare disease. Autoimmune deficiency, right? Is that what it is? My bad if I got that wrong. I really do enjoy their charity streams. But I think it's like you can do both, man. Fucking hell. Like, I don't want people to fundraise for charity and then be like, yeah, I do a lot of good work out there. Like, you do, but like, obviously you do, right? I'm not diminishing charity work. But I think that if you're hanging out with people who would otherwise hurt someone else through the basis of the color of their skin, their religious beliefs, or their sexual identity, I don't know, man. I don't know. That ain't right. Donating to charity doesn't automatically make you, you know, I don't know, but I guess it, you know what? It also applies the other way around. Hanging out with bad people doesn't necessarily make you a bad person as well. But like I said earlier, you do endorse it a little bit. You do enable it. You really do. That's why, like, especially with the whole peanut guy. I'm sorry, Cutie Cinderella. I'm really pissed at her for even allowing that fucker to be, like, a nominee for VTubing. But it pisses me off that everyone was congratulating the peanut guy and then defending him because he was getting hate, when the reason why he was getting hate was because he was literally a bigot. Like, he's a transphobe, he's racist, and people were trying to warn others about that. But everyone only saw, all the VTubers saw was people shitting on a VTuber peanut because he was a peanut. And that it was cringe to shit on a peanut. Because anyone can be a VTuber. Bruh, you're not listening to the convo. Bro's a racist. Now it got to the point where he's like making fun of Iran and shit, and then you have Hassan reacting to it, and it's just like, yikes. The peanut represents VTubing. And I think that's poetic justice, because in a sense, the VTubing community kind of deserves it. Like, we let that guy be the representation of VTubers, the fucking peanut guy that hates VTubers. What the fuck? Yes, exactly. For the IDF. Oh my god, please. Okay, I was actually watching Mousie's one of her charity streams at some point. When was it? Like a couple years ago. And it was during, I don't know, when was it? Jesus Christ. I don't remember when it was, but when I saw the IDF thing, my heart dropped. I was like, and then I was like, there's no fucking way. And then I looked it up and I'm like, oh my god. And you know how when they describe what the charity is called, not just IDF, but the whole Immune Deficiency Foundation, probably, I don't know what it's called, but I was like, oh my god, that is a like, not a terrible name, but like, Jesus Christ, it I hope she just from now on, I hope she doesn't say IDF, she just says the whole name. Jesus Christ. Like, my heart dropped. I'm like, no, Mousy, don't do this. But I knew it was wrong. Like, that didn't make any sense at all. I heard VShojo stole that fund. No, yeah, and I respect Mousy for, like, once she found out that they were stealing literally charity money from people who needed it for their medical bills and treatment. That's fucking evil, by the way. She clocked them, and then she left and encouraged others to leave. That's respectable to me. I respect the girl. But I'm not gonna lie here and say that I'm not disappointed. at, you know, the lack of support for, you know, everyone. The 2025 one, I believe, but she's done it previous years. Natayo Song says, I rarely give to charity due to lacking of money, but I organized a charity event for the Red Cross last month. I guess we can be engaged people without donating, as we can donate and be pricks in the end. No, yeah, if you don't have money, like, you can encourage people to donate. That's what I do. Where's my donation thingy? Oh, it's right over there. Oh my god, it's just floating, but it doesn't say anything, huh? It doesn't say anything. Of course it doesn't. Here, let me refresh it somehow. Refresh. This widget sucks. Oh my gosh, it's not saying anything. But I'm currently doing a fundraiser for Churla to help people. What's it called? The Coalition for Immigration Rights? I think that's what it's called. I don't remember the full name, but I chose this charity during the recent ICE massacres, right, against Renee Good. And so, and Renee Good and who I forgot. I'm so sorry, I forgot the other guy's name. It wasn't John, was it? Here, let me look at my YouTube stream. Jesus Christ. Live. It wasn't John. It's not John. Oh my god, what was his name, chat? Help me out. Jesus Christ, ¿cómo se llama? Border Patrol, Batuka, fearing for his life. Oh my god. No one was fearing for their lives, bruh. Man, I can't believe they killed that man that way. That's so terrible. 9 times. Imagine shooting someone 9 times, chat. For defending a woman being peppered sprayed. Jesus fucking Christ. I did not like looking at that clip. Fucking intense. Aaron! His name was Aaron. My bad, y'all. Lamau, it's so unfortunate that they're called IDF. Yeah, I know it wasn't on purpose, but still, it was very unfortunate. The president's wife in France also stole funds from charity for sick children. Nothing surprises me, unfortunately. No, yeah, a lot of people do that shit, but it was unheard of a VTuber company doing that, and it sucked because VShojo was supposedly one of the good guys, one of the good corporations, and the reason they were a good corporation is because they were a US company, VTuber company. Well, it was a whole ass lie, which is why I think after VShojo, I kind of just lost hope in the whole VTuber corporation thing. I'm like, nah, they're all corrupt, man. Fucking hell. Ah, it was Alex! Wait, who the fuck is Aaron then? What? What am I looking at? Let me see. Aaron Katursky. Shit! It was the guy investigating the... You see why I don't like talking about my opinions without my sources? But I'm legit just, like, speaking from my heart right now. I'm just, like, showing you clips and talking about it. His name was Alex, chat. My bad, that was rude. Yeah. He did not use the gun too. It was just there, yeah. But yeah, like going back to the VTuber thing. I wrote more stuff. But it basically, you know, we saw the whole clip of what's his name? Pink Eye. Revi? Pink Eye? I only know him as Pink Eye. False Eye! There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Brain. He started doing more videos like that, you know, crying for white racism. And it got to the point where one day a Niji-sanji VTuber had a, like, when was it? It was March 11th, 2024. I can't believe I wrote that down. So that was 2 years ago, right? One of Niji-sanji's talents went to Japan and started testing a bunch of cakes from Starbucks, and a kid, a 14-year-old, started spamming in chat, I believe, about the boycotts, and this VTuber got offended and had a very aggressive reaction to the chatter, trying to inform them that the stream that they were doing was wrong because they were dedicating their entire stream to Starbucks. And the clip was removed. So I'm just gonna paraphrase what was said. But basically, the talent told the chatter to fuck off and to not force politics in the stream, that they don't know and they don't know anything and they don't understand why the chatter had to ruin the vibes. And then after telling them once again to fuck off with their politics, they timed out the chatter, right? And for me, of course, like, I don't endorse anyone sending hate to the VTuber. But the thing is, it's like, ever since that incident, after getting like backlash, obviously, because it was pretty over the top reaction, and it was like it was a minor spamming that in chat, so it was a kid as well, and they were just doing something that they thought was right, and they were doing something right, you know. But again, like the Niji-sanji agency somehow, when it comes to like the English VTubers, it somehow ended up getting this image of like, if you're woke, you're gonna watch those people, you know. But sometimes some people don't want to cater to the woke crowd, I suppose. I just feel like when there's better ways to handle something like that. But I understand like being freaked out and reacting like that. You know, people shouldn't be spamming and shit, right? I understand that. And she apologized for it. I didn't think it was genuine, but she did apologize. So that's what matters, I suppose. But what I want to talk about is the after effects of that event. I think that event was the start of like the bigots in the VTuber community having like, it sparked the confidence in the bigoted VTuber fans to undermine and diminish what was happening in Palestine, and still continues to happen in Palestine to this day, and very few people are talking about it. Like, it just, ever since that specific event, anyone who talks about Palestine in the VTubing community is most likely going to get hate from the same VTubing community. And from both sides too, not only the bigots, but also like the progressive people. And so I feel like we need to remember that the whole point about speaking out, right, and letting people know about politics, especially when it comes to Palestine, is to inform people, is to change minds, is to educate and change minds. That should be the goal here. What the fuck? That should be the goal here. To inspire people to do the good thing. Of course, when you go straight to trying to pick a fight with someone, like a lot of these examples I've showed you, a bunch of people just want to pick fights and want to shove something down someone's throat, right? Especially, like, when you do that towards someone who's ignorant, you will encourage them to continue to be ignorant. And it will give leverage to people who are actual Nazis by painting a bad picture on those who participate in real humanitarian efforts. And it's all because performative justice, right? Those who are performative, they add no value to the conversation other than trying to cancel someone to make themselves look good. And I feel like that's what happened with the Starbucks incident. Now, once the VTuber community as a whole saw the backlash against that VTuber and before and after her apology, the bigot side of the fandom used this as an opportunity to simply paint Palestine as a woke political issue that needed to be debated rather than researched, respected, and encourage action, right? To encourage people to speak out and ask our governments to stop it. Of course, more VTubers, drama VTubers would jump on this like train of catering to people who hate politics and also cater to people who just are bigots in general. And it ended up just normalizing people who are literally scared. They're scared of anyone who says free Palestine. They're scared of anyone who, you know, well, I mean, what's that guy's name? Connor? Isn't that Iron Mouse's favorite person? Their best friend, right? I used to watch that guy, and he used to like hang out with Hassan, and he used to join Hassan's streams and stuff. And they invited Hassan twice to the, what's it called? Shit Opinions podcast. What's it called? Trash Tastes podcast, right? But because most of both the anime and the VTuber community is dominated by bigots in the online sphere, by the way, they kept on shitting on Hassan and convinced Connor to be like, yeah, I want to cut ties with Hassan because he's toxic and he makes everything political. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Hassan is like one of the only guys speaking about Palestine right now and the Middle East. And you were having fun with him, and just to cater to the fucking right-wing crowd, man. To the fucking bigots. That's why you destroyed your friendship with Hassan. And it sucked. They shit-talked Hassan on their stream and basically banned Hassan. After inviting him, by the way, twice to their podcast. My throat is so dry. Then they were like, oh, all of my chud viewers hate you, so I don't like you no more because you're too political. Because Hassan is like a huge One Piece fan, and Hassan was basically nerding out about how One Piece is political, and everyone in the pod was like, no. Well, not really. They were just listening to him yap. And then that was so toxic, apparently. Like, oh my god, he makes everything political. Like, bitch, have you Do you know anything? Do you have no media literacy? And stuff like that is like people just normalize that. When something isn't convenient to them no more, when someone's sharing their opinions in a positive way that involves woke politics, quote unquote woke politics, then you throw them out the window when you don't need them anymore. That's so performative and harmful, and we've just normalized that. And Connor is the best friend of Mousy, and it just bothers me that these people have the right to do that, to demonize people like Hassan, people like me, who just want to help people care about others, to care about genocide, to stop genocide. Like, what are we doing here? Hello, Nola. Nowadays, some dummies are saying that anti-fascism / wokeism is a new fascism. We are regressing so much. People are just complaining about everything. Connor Sea Dog. Yeah, you're right, Sea Dog. Trash taste. What a loser. I don't like talking about politics, and he brings it up too much. Why is the video still up then, buddy? Oh yeah, like you guys got a shit ton of fucking viewership from that too. I was in disbelief when they said they don't think OTS is political. OTS, is that how you say One Piece? What's OTS? These motherfuckers have not watched One Piece if they think it's not political. That's what I'm saying. Thank you for checking in, Cynthia. They just watch it with their eyes closed. Luffy would free Palestine. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't think it was... I haven't watched One Piece, but from what Hassan speaks on it, I was, like, so surprised. I was like, wait, really? One Piece is that political? Like, if that's what is going on? Like, huh? Maybe I should watch One Piece. What the fuck? No, but Hassan got shit on and banned, basically, from Trash Tates for saying that. There is a lot of political anime out there, and I'm not a big anime fan. No, yeah, there is a lot of political. I think Full Metal Alchemist became one of my favorite mangas / animes because of its heavy political content. I could relate to like the hatred for the government and how corrupt it was, and seeing Edward go through like realizing how corrupt the government was and all that stuff. Ash, what was the discriminated group called? Ashvalens, I think. I can't remember. It wasn't emphasized in the anime much, but in the manga, like I forgot what the group was called, but the people that obviously represented like a discriminated group of people who were being sacrificed for the sake of the country, right? Like, it was very the political warfare, like of war, the realities of war really stuck with me. Like, and Hiromo Arakawa sensei like literally interviewed veterans and studied history to be able to draw Full Metal Alchemist. Like, yeah, anime is extremely political. It's like not everyone only watches the fucking big titty harem animes where you get transported to a new dimension after you get run over by a truck. Like, there's more animes out there. You do understand that, right? that have actual plot. As in One Piece. Ah, is that what it's called? OTK? Sagashi Mono Sagashi. That, and they didn't think Vinland Saga was political either. They didn't think Vinland Saga was political? What is... Okay, but you see how the cope that they're trying to force people to not think politically in any way. In any way, bruh. And if you do, you're the bad guy. One Piece is super political. T-Dog straight up said, I get all my news from the BBC, and I'm and I'm like, bro, Lamau. Okay, dude. Yeah, propaganda. Last week we saw how the BBC was trying to blame Iran for defending themselves after being bombed first by Israel. Israel bombed their atomic facilities, and so Iran rightfully retaliated, and then BBC was like, how dare they retaliate, fucking irresponsible fucking actions. I'm like, bitch, Israel bombed them first. What are you saying? Propaganda right there, bruh. That's why you gotta speak on things, because if you don't speak on it and you know shit, who's gonna share their narrative? Who's gonna spread the narrative? Obviously BBC. Whatever the government wants to share. That's why speaking out matters, bruh. That's why Hassan speaks out. That's why Hassan criticizes. But Connor goes, I get all my news from the BBC. Owned. No, bruh, come on. In the end, everything is political, Tayo says. Some are freaking obvious, but every art is political. It shows or it doesn't show opinions, thoughts. Yeah, I agree with you, Tayo. Oh god, there is a lot of political media everywhere, to songs, to kid cartoons. Yeah. We are tired of big boobas as unique as a unique selling proposition in mangas and animes. They never watch Vinland Saga past the first episode, says Nola. Oh yeah, we should watch that, guys. Rad Panda says, crazy that shit's bull. Tile says, they even didn't read the synopsis based off evidence that a lot of people traveled to America before Columbus, etc. Complete rewriting of the history, political AF. That's crazy. I need to watch. I want to read it, but maybe I should watch it. I debate. Sometimes I don't watch stuff because I debate if I should read it or not. But you see, like, the VTuber community, like, by feigning ignorance, that means pretending you don't know something or just avoid the topic entirely. But pretending that you don't know. By feigning ignorance, like, you're endorsing those you hang out with that share their toxic beliefs. And earlier in the stream, I showed you guys the two extreme sides. But when you ask yourself which one causes more harm, it's the side that just hates to hate, right? When they're like targeting minorities, especially like trans people, other people of the LGBTQ community, minorities, okay? They say slurs all the time. Even on my private account, those types of people, the people who cry about white racism, have called me the N-word and stuff. And I'm like, bruh, I'm really? Like, you're just saying that just to sound edgy and shit. And it's not funny, but it's because they know they can get away with that sort of thing and not feel the repercussions for it. Of course, it doesn't affect me, but it offends me definitely, because, like, why are we normalizing this? Why are VTubers blocking other VTubers for giving a honest opinion in good faith? Why aren't VTubers calling out their toxic fans that do toxic shit in their name. You know, people are more willing to shit on the woke folk who can't read the room. Quite frankly, let's be for real here. Most woke people can't read the room. But it's in a good place, I feel. You know, if someone's telling you, hey, you shouldn't really do a Starbucks stream because, you know, Palestine right now is being annihilated by companies like that, and then you tell them to fuck off and then give a half-assed apology and basically without wanting to start this like snowball effect where now everyone is making fun of everyone who's woke in the VTUBing community.
Just donated $5 to Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights.
Thank you. So I'm so sorry that my fucking logo is blocking it. I'm so sorry. It looked so goofy. Here, let me move my logo more down, man. My bad, man. And thank you so much for donating to charity. The Coalition for Immigrant Rights tries to help immigrants who are currently fighting for their rights.
Woo! Yeah, baby!
Thank you.
That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Woo! They also support communities who need legal support, representation, help, in school, everything. Anyone who is an immigrant, they support with resources. Thank you so much, Rad Panda. If they have to add white to racism, means it's something else. Like anti-young racism is ageism, white racism is xenophobia, not racism. Ah, I see. Yay, thanks, Rad Panda. Thank you, Rad Panda. And this was their first stream here too, right? Thank you so much. Yeah, I thought I'd donate before I step out for a bit. Thank you so much. I'm about to end stream right now too, because it's like 2 a.m. for me. But yeah, I just wanted to share my opinions, right? Alongside hearing your guys' opinions. I'm really thankful that a lot of people were chatting with me today. I think like stuff like this is very important to talk about. And me hearing your opinions helps me rethink things myself as well. You know? It makes me think, well, yeah, there's limits to things, right? There's limits to, you know, what you can call an opinion or not, right? Or think or do or say things, right? I totally understand. But I really wanted to show the hypocrisy of things because I feel like both sides at this point have enabled this toxic culture in VTubing where it's like, no politics. But that guy who is saying racist shit, they have the right to their own opinion. And that guy that guy over there that hangs out with a successful YouTuber but caters to their chud audience and demonizes fucking people who speak on politics like Hassan Abi. He's entitled to his own opinion. Those two are entitled to their own opinion. But that woke person right there, fuck them. How dare you bring politics into this fucking stream? Fuck off. You know, like it's... A VTuber's family's dead, man. It's gone to that point now. We can't keep on doing this toxic mentality in VTubing. Like we gotta get rid of that shit. We gotta normalize speaking politically in a woke way, man. People are fucking dying by the second, by the minute. And I wanted to share that. Trying my best to react while working extra this evening. Always interesting to talk those topics. Thanks for doing it, Tama. No, well, thank y'all for joining in and hearing me out. Today was kind of a chill yap stream. This is my first time doing that in TamaTalks. Usually I always have sources and react to sources and stuff. But today I just wanted to share my opinion. F them, says Emil. How dare them say that the political anime is political? How dare them? Fuck off. I invited you to my stream and I happily went to your stream to get a clout. And again, Hassan is a well-known political commentator. How dare you go to his house and residence, him giving you food and a place to hang out in, and also fucking clout from in his community. And also you inviting him to your podcast twice, just for you to be like, how dare you say that the political anime is political, and then shun him from your community, from the anime, and honestly VTubing as well. It's just, come on. That's so fucked up, bruh. It sucked. Like, Hassan was really sad because he rarely makes nerd friends. Plus, he's autistic as fuck. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Hassan just doesn't know how to make friends. I don't know how he does it sometimes. But, like, he could finally just geek out and not be a fucking political commentator for once. And then those fuckers fucked him over and shunned him. Like, people can enjoy anime and politics. Just like me, people can enjoy VTubing and politics. Like, woke politics, let me clarify, fucking hell. It's just unfair. That literally enabled bigotry. So, I'm not a bit of a fan of Hassan, but come on now, you know what you're doing. Yeah, like, Hassan is a political commentator. Like, what are you expecting? Why did you even join his streams then? Why did you invite him to your fucking podcast? What do you think was gonna happen? Hello? Ay, ay, ay. It's just, now I know you were just cloud chasing. What the fuck? Those people never watched any Miyazaki movie. That's true. Miyazaki is political. World War II, Nagasaki, and Hiroshima really influenced Japanese artists for some time. I really hope to see more lefty VTubers soon, because I think you're right. It is an untapped market. I know. That's why I'm like, shit, like, I need to get on it, man, because I'm one of the only ones who actually does it Hassan style a bit, where I'm actually reacting to sources and then speaking on it as a VTuber, right? It would also help if you guys bumped me up a little bit, like share my shorts, like, repost, stuff like that. Watch my videos on YouTube, stuff like that. Tag me and stuff, use my tags, I don't know. But I'm currently working on editing more shorts of myself, and posting more highlights. I'm getting my old highlights out of the way with my old model, but new highlights are coming soon with my new model. And I'm also working on a new channel dedicated to TamaTalks, where I'm going to post like shorts involving politics and highlights involving politics. I just have to find an editor who's willing to edit political content in a way where they're also informed, you know? In a way that they're informed in said content and can make good content. And edit my videos and also be affordable. I'm really poor. So, yeah. I'll be that one guy in chat to say I do like Hassan. No, I'm surprised. Most people don't like Hassan, and I'm like okay with it. My dad doesn't like Hassan. He hates Hassan. And I'm like, Dad, just watch him. And he watches them. He's like, I still hate him. but I agree with him sometimes. And I'm like, why do you guys just straight up hate him? That's crazy. It's just Hassan. I know that that's the fate for me too if I end up being big as well. Like, people are just gonna fucking hate me for no reason. It's just because I'm woke. That's it. I don't know whom that is. When I say I don't know shit about anime and VTuber, I say it. That's good. Hassan Abi Abu Turkey. Oh yeah, he's Turkish. Old man Miyazaki, who made Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away. Yeah, they're like animated movies. Maybe you know Kiki's Delivery Service? I've only watched Howl's Moving Castle. They weren't marketed as anime. They were actually shown just as regular movies in theaters a long time ago. I'm holding my breath for the clip of shut up, Shark. Still no clue? That's crazy. I mean, it's okay. Princess Mononoke is my favorite, would recommend it. Oh, but I think Ghibli films are technically Disney, right? Are they technically Disney? Boycott Disney. By the way. Just letting y'all know. I don't know if I think they're technically Disney though, but I'm not sure. At least owned by it. Ghibli is Disney now? I think Disney provided the dubs, right? But I'm not sure. I hope not though. I want to watch them. Time to pirate. Yeah, time to pirate and then have like the entire Japanese community hate you. But yeah, I think I've yapped enough. I hope I made my point. This is the most unlogical TamaTalks I feel I've done. I mean, I think my opinions matter, but I'm not used to not showing like important stuff. Like, you know, I wish I would. That's why I decided to do TamaTalks twice a week instead of only once a week. That way, whatever topic I wasn't able to talk in one of my TamaTalks, I can talk about in the next TamaTalks. So I'll do TamaTalks once again on Thursday. I'll take a break on Wednesday because I have 2 jobs during Wednesday. I do a day and night shift teaching English for the entirety of the day. I get out like at 10 p.m. and I just can't stream anymore during those days. So, yeah. I will see you guys on Thursday. I will most likely be talking about the recent fucking closure of the Strait of Hormuz again. I'll probably add some Japanese politics in there, especially with the announcement today that they all will be now exporting weapons to other countries to aid in wars, specifically the Iran one. Stuff like that. But yeah, thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed TamaTalks, and I hope to see you again for TamaTalks Thursdays at the same time, 11 p.m. JST tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Thursday, my bad. Tomorrow's Wednesday for me. Thursday, JST, 11 p.m. Be there or be a square. After that, we will be playing Tomodachi game again on Friday with Zaya36. And we will be making more me's of my chatters and seeing what crazy things they do in the Tomodachi world. Oh my god, hi X-Predator. Wait, what the fuck? I can't. Wait, I'm reading a different chat. What a dumbass. That was like the worst name to say to. Hello, ex-predator. Oh, God. I'm very proud of my me. I can't wait to see how your me reacts to my me, Shark. It's gonna be fun. But that will be on Friday, okay? Here are my socials. Join my Discord, look at my about page so you guys can get more updates. And I'll see you later, alligator. See ya, Tama. See you. Have a good rest, Tama. Take care. XOXO, dear Shindoi. See you. See you. See you. See you. Good night, y'all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
してるか